Hello, my love. Welcome to Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore, and today I'm going to be reading your, tea leaves. Not tarot cards, tea leaves. I might do some tarot, but we're going to do tea leaves first and foremost. Let's just start because we have the number. It looks like it's 4549. 4549. I also first saw 549, so it might be that it's 549, especially if that's like your area code. I don't know where that would be, but it could be yours. I don't know. So we have the 549. We have an M, and it looks like a goalpost. Now, I know. Okay, I'm from America. You can tell by the accent. But we have that thing, football, right? American football. Not to be confused with the greater football, right? The world football, which we call soccer for some reason. I don't know why. But we have the goalpost. We have the M going into the goalpost. We also have a bird above, and gosh, we have two people, one here, one here. It looks like there's a sense of conflict. No, there is conflict. I mean, I'm not saying there's a sense. There is straight up conflict. There is this is like you stole my boyfriend energy. Like maybe not that exactly, but like that, not to the level of your child though, because that's just something else. That's like on a whole different scale. You look at my kid weird, and we're in the stratosphere, bro. But this is like just kind of, and it almost actually doesn't feel like like infidelity so much as within the relationship or the friendship or the companionship, there being this misalignment. There used to be alignment. There has been alignment, because I feel like you know what it feels like. It's not been like this thing where you're always trying to adjust to just get there. We're going to get there one day. I know there's potential. It's not that. It's not that. This is like we have been there. We have felt it. We know what this is. We know what this is. Say it with me. We know what this is. And yet, something has happened. And I don't think this is the first time, actually. I think that there is kind of this wobbling that happens, not so much between you, but both of you kind of have your things going on. And maybe more often than not, it leads it to kind of get into this place where you're just not able to maybe hear them, receive them well. You might find, like their problems stress you, or vice versa. There are things in the way. There are things that need to be worked out if this is going to work. Right? But I feel like there's just something about your connection that it's never going to end. No connection really does. But it feels like your last one. It's not an easy one. This isn't an easy one. It's not like, oh, we're best friends, we get along, everything we agree on, we have like, this all the same favorite things and whatever. And it's just, I mean, listen, if you can find that, I don't believe you. I want to see what you're like when you go home behind closed doors. No, I'm kidding. I mean, I'm sure somebody out there has found their perfect alignment that is sustained, you know. But in reality, man, we're messes, right? We're all messes. And then you put 2, 3, 4 messes together, or even more, you know, with the animals, the kids, the whatever, you know, it gets messy. It's supposed to be messy, right? I think so. I like messy. I'm a gremlin. I like messy. So I see this kind of being like, you get into a place where it's almost like just too going for those places within each other. I don't know what happens between two people where that it's not competitive, but it's like, I don't know, almost kind of competitive. Like, who is going to prove the point? You know what I mean? Like, who gets to really, you know? But the love seems like, I can't help but feel like this is like it's not like you're one person forever and ever in infinity. You only had, you know, this is the only love you'll ever know, or you have known. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know if that's real. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. Who knows? I don't understand it. Sorry, I've loved more than one person in my life. You know what I mean? Like, sorry. I like to love. You know what I mean? I don't just mean romantic. I mean just love people. To love somebody, to know somebody, to have like a mingling, right, of spirits. Like, that is top shelf stuff, babe. Like, that is like, you know, like, even just like yesterday, I was like talking to another mom, and like, we just both were like, oh, yeah, like, I totally feel super comfortable just being, you know, and I'm sorry if you're listening to this. It's been really cool getting to know you. I won't say your name, and I hope it's okay I'm talking about this, but it just, you know what I mean? There's like this, like, I see you, I feel you, like, I am being observed by something that I am also observing, and it's not frightening, and there's something so magical in that. And even if it is frightening, right? Frightening in like the right ways. This is a person you're going to be like, you know, when the birds, I think it's hawks, maybe it's eagles, I don't know too, I don't know. But they get into those like mating rituals where they're like, their claws are interlocked and they're like falling to the ground and, you know, doing their thing. And then right before they hit the ground, they like part and fly off, you know. And that's real, right? Am I just like, did I dream that? No, that's real. That's real. What is real even? No. Let's ponder realness. But yeah, it feels like that. That's like it. That's it. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not sorry because it sounds great. You know what I mean? I feel like you have a potent love. You do. It's not an easy one though. But I do feel like, you know, interestingly, usually when we're in these kind of situations, there's not a lot of room for autonomy, is there? You know what I mean? Like, you're constantly like serving the relationship if you're together or not, right? And yeah, I feel like you are very much like, it's like two solitary people, right, coming together. And that poem, what is that? What is the poem? it's about I think it's the one for the young poets or whatever, right? What is the poem called? Rainer or whatever. And it is something like, love is between two completely autonomous beings, choosing to be bordering one another and respecting those the difference, right? But you choose to be next to each other. And I talk a lot on here about parallel play, right? And this is the concept in child development. Okay, keep your heads to where, yeah, it's okay. So it is when two young children, right, before they start learning to play together, like, here, I'm going to throw the ball to you and you catch it, you throw it back to me. Before that, they might each have a ball and they're both playing next to each other, but they're playing with their own toy, right? They're not sharing it back and forth yet. It hasn't gotten to that point yet, right? And so in life, to be able to find somebody or somebodies where you can be right up next to them, doing your thing, and they're doing their thing, and the love is there, the respect, the love, the worship, the awe. I look at you, both how you want me to see you, and also how I sneak and see you. You know, how our minds do that. And I behold you. You know, I'm in awe of you. And that, right? So, it's not always that in here. You know, it is though. There is a lot of there's just like a feeling of, how could I live this life without you? How could I go on without even just knowing you're out there, right? You're just out there living, breathing, doing something or nothing. Maybe you're doing nothing, but you're there. And that in itself is enough to sustain me. Little sad girl here. You know? But let's move on from the love stuff. But I feel like this is the thing. I mean, listen, you're probably ramping back up. Let's be real. You probably have been a little bit like separated, and I think that you will be kind of reuniting in some fashion. All right, let's see. We also have the star. We have, look, hand reaching out. This person up here also has a hand reaching out. We have the butterfly. We have the hummingbird. We have the flower growing. And we have the person with the bow. So we have this real push towards a large goal. Okay, so a rite of passage I feel coming soon. This is not one like where, you know, by age, you've aged into the next rite of passage. This is an intentional rite of passage. This is an intentional, I am evolving. Like that butterfly, right? You're going through your metamorphosis. Now, with the hummingbird, there's a lot. You're busy. You're very busy. This feels like it has something to do probably with resources, probably with money. Okay, so I feel you really, maybe this is where that N comes in somehow. Company, maybe you're getting some kind of certification, you started a business, something. Okay. This goal is going to be like, okay, so this is like one of those ones, and it's not to diminish the goal, because every goal is a lot until you get to the goal, right? You meet the thing. This is one of your big goals in life. You're gonna meet it and immediately dwarf it. It is going to kind of be like, I can't believe it took me this long to get to that first goal, because then you're cruising. But I really feel like we have to always like step back and realize, like, the momentum comes easier, right, once you really get going. And so yeah, I feel like this is going to be something that you have help, maybe through friends, family, the people you work with, maybe you hired somebody, but I feel like it's almost this like big push. There's like people coming to your aid. They are giving you pointers. They are partaking in the whatever, like you start a restaurant, they're coming in to eat, and it's a lot. I feel like just being busy in itself is something that is honestly quite healing for you. And I don't mean busy to the point of, exhaustion, like I guess most of us are living, right? We're just all busy all the time. But I feel like when you are busy with things that you want to be doing, that's the difference here, okay? You want to be doing these things. So I see that really being, something very, it's a big breakthrough. It's a big breakthrough. That's what it is. It's a big breakthrough. Now, we also have the horn here, and I just want to show this to you. This is an opening, okay? The horn, right here, the opening of a new cycle, a new ritual, a new operation, a new cycle, a new part of life through a rite of passage. Now, I want to look and see. I'm going to ask. We're going to kind of turn a little bit here. I want to ask a little bit about what is going to be kind of the flavor of this season that we just stepped into. So spring or fall, depending on where you're at. I mean, come on, dude. So we got the star card as we have been talking about the star, right? So this is the flavor. We're right on course here. Okay. So we have the Ace of Wands, adjustment. So going in very passionate, of course. There's going to be problems. Look, when you do something, I don't care what it is, anything in your life, you're going to run into problems. Okay? You might be at a point where you're feeling weary. You're feeling like this, the flame is not burning as heavily, as brightly, as like passionately as you want it to be, like it was in the beginning. You might start to feel a little fatigued. We have that lust, we have that strength energy coming in. So as we are making adjustments, as we are letting go of parts of our dream, maybe that, we thought this was an important part, maybe it's not. Maybe it's the thing that's making it not work, right? So we shed and we refine and we refine and we refine. And we do this through, right, this like most potent, right, the creative energy of the universe, the most potent Amarit or Amarita or Soma or soul or whatever you want to call it, not soul, no. But still, there is, the plasma there, so of course it is soul in a way, I guess. But what it really, it's the divine spark in you. Okay, and letting go of parts of the delusion. And listen, it is all a delusion, right? We're living in a imagined reality that we perceive to be consensus and shared. If that's true or not, who knows? I don't know. Um, either way, I'm talking to myself. But literally right now. But here's the thing is that you're creating all of it. You're creating all of it. You're creating. Sometimes it just doesn't work, and we have this idea like, okay, this is. But as we shed some of that stuff, it becomes lighter. The vision becomes more clear, and this impulse, this lovely, beautiful, rising, pleasure, lusciousness, thriving at its peak, something splendid, the ripest fruit, if you could imagine, just biting into like the most juicy peach, and it's all, it's all over, and it is the divinity of all, right? It's the divinity of all, and so I feel, and maybe you're not having these huge ecstatic moments all the time, hopefully once in a while, right? I feel like you're on the path to not only purpose, right, meaning of some kind. You're able to measure that in some way, take account for what you've been spending your time with, your efforts, and so on. But there is this growing belovedness, passion, and ability to tear through the whole thing. Just to see, whatever it is beyond that. I can't tell you because it's different for each of us, of course. But I see you coming into your sight here, right? And that aligning very much with your body, with your mind, your soul, right? But also with your love. Yeah, with the love. That's the biggest thing here. So let's do a couple numbers, 3 numbers actually, and then I'm going to get out of here. I've been running late and ragged today. It's just been 96. My schedule is different today, so I'm just off. 17, I had to go visit my daughter for lunch at school, and it was fun. 74. All right. I love you. I love you. I love you so much. I love you. I love you. I don't know. I haven't watched the end of this movie. I'm afraid to see what it is. But also, I already know. I already know. So, if you want to tell me what the end of the movie is, put it in the comments. I don't know how else to do. I don't know. Because I'll talk to you later. We'll talk soon. Goodbye.